certainly a great day to be out to do a groundbreaking, and I know for one neighborhood in particular, Caroline Lakes, this is a special celebration for you, and we certainly owe a debt of gratitude to you for your patience and your diligence in sticking with us as we worked on bringing this about. I want to say thank you to everyone for being here, and certainly thank you to our fire department as well. They have worked hard over a long period of time to make sure that we do a great job of providing the appropriate level of service throughout the community. We're going to get a chance to hear from our city manager, and by the way, I forgot to tell you, I'm Mayor Gal Fields. And on behalf of the entire City Commission, we certainly thank you for being here and your patience. We took a little long on our last workshop, and that's why we're running a few minutes behind. But we're going to get a chance to hear from our City Manager, Doug Thomas. He'll be followed by our Fire Chief, Gary Ballard, who has held back a special announcement that he wants to make as a part of this groundbreaking ceremony. We'll also hear from our Airport Director, Gene Conrad. As you know, this is a dual fire station done in partnership with the airport and with our partners at the Federal Aviation Administration. And then we'll get a chance to hear from Christy Smith with the Florida Department of Transportation, although it says something a little different on the program. Christy's going to love it that I got that right. Again, thank you for being here. God bless you all, and certainly a great day to be a part of Lakeland, to see this fire station finally come about and its groundbreaking occur. And I know you're going to make sure that we get every brick right as we're coming out of the ground with it as well. Mr. Thomas.
Thank you, Mayor Fields. It's a great day to be out here today, and I know I greatly appreciate seeing our friends from Caroline Lakes and other members of the community have followed this process now for some time. Just to go back and set the stage, I want to reiterate something the mayor had indicated. I want to, number one, first and foremost, thank our mayor and city commission, because after going through a variety of discussions and deliberations last year, almost about this time, a little over a year ago, we were faced with a couple different choices to try to improve fire safety and the life safety issues, especially in Southwest Lakeland. And staff was asked to look at what those options looked like and what it would cost to develop a new station and try to improve the services out here. And your commission ultimately did a very courageous thing and approved a millage increase of $0.5 million in fiscal year 13 to get us started down this path. And that was a difficult thing to do in the midst of a recession, but I know that they felt very comfortable at the end of the day doing that, largely because many of the people in attendance today had their back. He said, this is something we think is important, and we think it's something the community ought to do. And so immediately after that process, we moved as expeditiously as possible to get in fact, I think Chief Ballard ordered the truck the day after the budget was approved. Said, I'm not ready to sign the check yet, but I know it's in the process. Commission's approved it. But actually started that because that was a significant lead time to get our new telesquirter out here and get started. And last summer, we had an opportunity to celebrate with many of you over just across the way at the terminal building to celebrate the temporary station. And when we immediately did that, we were able to improve the fire rating services in Southwest Lakeland to a 3 status. That was a significant upgrade from the 9 status you had before, just by having the temporary station here. And in fact, the day we opened that, we actually had phone calls and we had a service. I think the first call was to Geico for an emergency response. But since that time, your fire department has been out here doing a great job. I want to thank some other people as we go forward to introduce some other elements before I have Chief Ballard. As I said, he's got some other very good news. He's been kind of holding back, but we thought today might be the day that he can make another announcement. But I want to thank the fact that staff, on my behalf, I know that we've got Brad Johnson, who is the Assistant City Manager, and Gary Ballard and Rick Lilliquist, and all the facilities team that have been involved in getting us to this point and getting through the request for proposal, getting our firm on board, Lunds Prebor, which is the architectural and engineering firm, along with their subcontractors, helping us get the design put into play, and then ultimately going out to bid. And we have a great local contractor in Miller Construction that is here today as well as a number of other subcontractors going to be working on this project. When it's all said and done, by the time you're in construction, is about a $4.5 million project, plus equipment and components. We had to make some adjustments because the budget estimate was put together years ago, and we had to do some internal efforts, but we were very pleased to bring this project to a reality. Our team has done just a wonderful job in getting us to this point today, and so it brings me great pleasure to help you celebrate your new station as it comes into Southwest Lakeland, and certainly the staff has been very, very much juiced up and excited about working on this element. With that, I want to bring up Chief Gary Ballard. As I say, Gary, this has been one of his babies as well. He's been an advocate for this station and this process, and Gary certainly wants to have a few words to talk about his personnel, and then, as I said, he's got a great announcement to make for you today as well. Chief Ballard.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Thank you for coming out on this great occasion today for us to have a groundbreaking and a sign blowover, so that's okay. First of all, I'd like to thank a few people, as been mentioned already, but I think the people in southwest quadrant of this city, and particularly Caroline Lakes, deserve a tremendous round of applause and diligence that they put forth whenever they saw a need that they didn't have that the rest of the city had, and they conducted themselves in such a professional manner, saying, look, this is very important to us and to our city as a whole, and we need a fire station out here. And my hands and guys are off to you guys, and thank you very much for your input here. And you being a part of the grassroots effort that started all this, and there was some tragedy at the beginning of that, but along with that, though, we began to work together as a team, and I couldn't say that I'm more proud of our staff and the airport staff and working together, and again with the other city departments to get to the point that we are today. All the things that we put together and pulled forward and brought forth to the city manager and city commission to approve to this point has just been a great thing, I think, for overall for us as an entire city. I just want to share a couple things here on what this fire station means to you and to us as a fire department and to the entire city. When we were able to put this station into play here, we've been out here on the airport property, so, providing protection to the airport itself since 2007. But the surrounding community didn't have any type of support. We had to come to this far-reaching quadrant of our city from Station 2 and Station 4. This behind us then, and the culmination of all this, allows us to reduce the response districts of Station 2 and 4 greatly and put a primary response district here that will cut our response time in half. Already so far, in about the past 5 months since Station 7 we opened temporary with Engine 71, when we ordered that as City Manager indicated, we've already ran over 330 calls in this particular zone. There's been 5 building fires in this area. A number of, majority of those are medical type calls. This particular apparatus is staffed every day with at least one paramedic, and so that when we get there and if you have some type of medical emergency, we can give you the highest quality care that you can receive for your medical issue. In addition to cutting our response times in at least half out there, we've also been able to increase for airport protection on having a greater number of personnel should something occur on the airport itself. We're going from 2 people, and today we are at 6 people per station. And when we open these doors, we hope in less than a year from now, we'll have 9 people at this fire station. We'll cover it with 9 firefighters on a daily basis. Also, when we are opening these doors here, we get to do something that we haven't been able to do in a very long time here in the city, and that's add an additional truck company. When we respond to structure fires, we send 3 engines, a heavy rescue or truck company, and a battalion chief, and a couple rescues. And we have 1 truck company that services the entire city, and that's 72 square miles. When we get to open this station here, we'll have 2 truck companies, and we'll be able to break some of that off and give a lot better response into the southern side of the city here for our truck company operations. But as the mayor and city manager announced there, I have some more good news that will take a little while to get here, but I'm sure and hopefully everyone, not only the people in Caroline Lakes here, will be able to feel the impacts of this, but maybe the entire city will. Part of what drove us in building this station here was the fact that, according to ISO Insurance Service Office, it's an organization who rates fire departments and helps set some of your fire protection rates for your homeowners policy out there. They rate fire departments, and in their rating scale and system, they rate fire departments 1 to 10. 1 being the best that there is of having the best fire protection that you could have, and 10 is being no fire protection at all. And part of that rating system, they set aside and say, if you don't live within 5 road miles of a fire station, it's like not having a fire station at all. That's just part of their guideline with that. And for us, in the majority of our city, we had a 3 rating. And for this particular quadrant of the city, it was a 10. They didn't recognize that. But the day, this past summer, when we opened up Engine 71 here and started staffing that, we called and said we want to be re-rated. We are now providing fire protection and rescue services to this quadrant of the city and would like to be re-rated. They came in July. It was toward the middle of July or toward about the 3rd week in July. They came and spent 3 days here, took our information down, and went back to readdress our coverage area. I have been calling them for the past month or so, trying to get some information back from them and say, okay, what's happening with that? I know a number of residents have called us and said, hey, where we're at, I know we're supposed to be a 3, they're not recognizing, all those kinds of things are out there. Unfortunately, I can't fix that just yet. But here's what they did say. They did say that they were mailing our new executive summary and our documents that indicated our rating here for the entire city. And now that we have that, and what I'm proud to tell you today is that our rating for the entire city, including Carillon Lakes area, is a 2. Not only is that important for you, but it's important for all the citizens of the city of Lakeland. Everybody got a reduction in their ISO rating because of building this fire station. That's where it's an entire community process, it's an entire city process. It's not just something for one community. When we do something here, and particularly like this, it's something that helped all the citizens of Lakeland, not just one quadrant of the city. And I'm very proud to the fact that we were able to do that and build this station. So with that, I'm greatly pleased, and I think everybody's here for us to try to dig into this dirt, and I'm not sure where we go from here, but I'll turn this back over to Gene. I think Gene's coming here, so I just want to share that with you, and thank you all for coming today.
Well, my name is Gene Conrad. I'm the airport director here at Lakeland Linder Regional Airport. And before I get started, I just want to welcome my friends from Carillon Lakes. Most of you hopefully know, when I first moved here to town, it was the last dash before we were running back to get on a flight to head back to Missouri after I'd interviewed here and accepted the job. But Carillon Lakes was available for me, and we lived there for 8 to 9 months, and I'm just glad to see this has come true. And also as the airport director, obviously I must say, to be honest with you, I was a little worried, to be honest, in regards to our fire protection out here. With 75 businesses and organizations located at this airport and over 1,000 people working here a day and 1 million square feet of facilities, there's a lot of activity, there's a lot of people out here, and there's a lot of buildings we need to protect. So we are very, very happy to have this facility out here as well. And what started as a temporary station back in 2007 will finally be permanent here in 2014 and next year. And the station's not only important, again, for our continued development here at this facility, but also for this southwest quadrant of Lakeland. Talking with our friends at the LEDC, Claudia Tritton, she shared a little tidbit of info with me in regards to Amazon and how important having this permanent station was for their relocation or their new location out on County Line Road. So this whole area, this whole quadrant is super important to the future development of Lakeland, and obviously we're very, very happy about what we do here at the airport and our continued development. We've had over close to $30 million in grants that have been awarded here to this facility over the last 3.5 years to continue the improvement in the infrastructure on this facility to help support, again, those 75 businesses and organizations and all of our tenants, and some of them who are represented here today. This is a very, very important facility. And in talking about grants, we invited Christy Smith with District 1 from the Florida Department of Transportation to speak today, and without her and Mr. Terry Beecham, a lot of what we do and also $2 million in this station wouldn't be available today. So we just appreciate everything District 1 does for us, and especially Christy. She spends a lot of time helping us. Probably a lot of times she probably has a speed dial or the caller ID and sees it's our number. It's probably like, uh-oh, it's them again. But we do truly appreciate everything that she does for us, and I'd like to introduce Christy Smith.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I'd like to thank the City Manager's Office for inviting me here to speak today. Forging long-lasting relationships with our local partners is a high priority of the department. On behalf of the Florida Department of Transportation, District 1 Freight, Logistics, and Passenger Operations Office, I'd like to thank the City of Lakeland and Mr. Gene Conrad for continued cooperation in an effort to meet a common goal of efficiently and effectively moving people and goods in this region. The relationship between the department and the city, namely the airport, began in 1980 when a grant was issued in conjunction with funds received from the Federal Aviation Administration to prepare the site for the new instrument landing site system. In the years between then and now, the department has invested over $27 million in this airport. The Lakeland-Linder Regional Airport plays a significant role in the Florida aviation system. Its location and local support system make it a critical player in this district and statewide. The state's contribution to this facility is on par to its service to the state, region, and to the community that it serves. Looking ahead, the department has programmed over $13 million in current and future year commitments at LAL. Included in those commitments is $1.6 million for the design and construction of this dual-use firefighting facility. Safety is of the utmost importance to the department, and we are pleased to participate in such a worthwhile project. I would again like to thank the city for having me here today. I look forward to continued coordination with airport staff and city staff to better serve the traveling public.
Let's break ground. All right.
I'm inviting you. Oh, okay. Get over there and take a picture. 1, 2, 3. Now let's get one. Now let's get one with everybody. Stand in front of your shovels. All right, thank you.